Hello, Calvary Bible Church, Awana Club. Mr. Tom Schmidt here with Sparky's. Just doing a little bit of an update of what's been going on. I hope everybody's doing well. Had a couple days that the sun came out a little bit, and then we had a thunderstorm and snow all in the same day, so that was kind of crazy. But I want to let you know the leaders and I are thinking about you all the time and talking, what we can do to help you. There will be some updates coming in regards to verses in the cutoff times and things like that. So be on the lookout in your emails for that, and so we can keep you up to date on scholarships and award ceremonies and just all sorts of things that we still want to do. We just have to try to figure out how, if, and when we can do that. This week I'm going to do a little bit different. I am going to do a Bible story with you guys, and I've got a pitcher of water next to me, so that could be interesting, those that know Mr. Schmidt. So let's go into the Bible story today. I'm going to read it to you, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So this is a story about water, because I love water, and there's lots of stories in the Bible about water. But this one in particular made me think a little bit about Jesus and my faith, and whether would I sink or float if I was tested in my faith today. So let me read it to you. Immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him, while he dismissed the crowd. After leaving him, he went up to the mountainside to pray. Sometimes Jesus needed some alone time. He needed time to think. He needed time to pray, maybe to plan out where he should go next to talk about people. Well, later that night, the boat that had the disciples in it was alone. It's in the lake, and Jesus was on the land. He saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. They weren't getting anywhere. They tried to go faster, but they weren't going anywhere. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. Not swimming, but just walking on the lake. He was about by them. And the disciples, they got scared. They thought it was a ghost. They cried out and they were scared because they saw him. They're terrified. Much like we might be if we're out on the lake and you saw somebody walking on the water. Immediately he spoke to them. Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid. And he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down. They were immediately amazed. But they understood about the loaves and how that all worked, and their hearts were hardened a little bit during this time. When they crossed over and they got to land, they anchored there. As soon as they got out of the boat, they recognized Jesus. The people recognized from all over the place. They ran throughout the region, and they carried the sick on the mats to wherever they heard where he was going. And wherever he went, the villages, the towns, the countryside, there was lots of people there. They placed the sick in the marketplaces. They begged him to let him touch even the edge of his cloak, and all who touched were healed. To be at those times, to watch Jesus walking on the water would be amazing. To see Jesus healing the sick would be amazing. I encourage you this week, get into your Bibles and find another story about water. There's lots of them. Trust me, I was looking for a bunch of them. So I encourage you to do that. So find a memory verse for this week. You're on your own this week. Pick a good one, memorize it, and make sure you send those in. But I thought we'd do something now called float or sink. So just a real quick object lesson here. Whether or not we'll think something will float or sink when I put it into the water. So I have the water here, and we'll start with something simple like a piece of paper. Think it'll float or sink? Float or sink? What do you guys think? Looks like it's floating to me, doesn't it? All right. How about a piece of paper towel? Float or sink? Maybe it depends on how I put it in. I'll put it in gently. Looks like it's floating. Looks like it's okay. What if I took... a Sparky share. I better not do that. We need those. A battery. Maybe it would float. We'll see. Oh, I was definitely wrong. That sank. peanut. What do you think, guys? Peanut by itself? It floats! I bet some of you thought it would sink, right? Yeah. So, what about a balloon? Probably float? It sank. Okay. I cheated a little bit. I put batteries inside the balloon. Fooled you a little bit. Sorry about that. And then we're going to end with one of my favorite candies, M&M's. What do you think? Float, sink? Sink! My precious M&M's. I hope everybody has a great week. I encourage you to look in your Bibles. Let your faith not sink. Let it rise up and float and be with you all week. And I encourage you just to do the best you can. Send in those verses to your leaders. We're looking forward to it. Have a great week. Calvary Bible Church, Awana. Mr. Schmidt signing out.